morning, and I know that everybody is having lunch and we're gathered together, and this is a very special time for the Department of Senior Affairs. I'm Georgia Armijo Brasher. I'm the director of the City of Albuquerque's Department of Senior Affairs, and I'm delighted to welcome you here today. I am here with you today along with Mayor Berry and some key staff members from AARP. We have some very good news for all of you today to share with you. Mayor Berry, thank you for your leadership and for joining us today as we continue our journey toward becoming an age-friendly city. I would like to introduce Mr. Gene Varela, the AARP New Mexico State Director. Gene and his team at AARP have been excellent partners with the City of Albuquerque Department of Senior Affairs for many years, and they do an excellent work for our senior community. AARP is doing great work across our country when it comes to making communities livable for people of all ages. And when the Department of Senior Affairs began ABQ together a couple of years ago, our partnership with AARP continued. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Varela. Let's welcome Mr. Gene Varela.
Thank you, Georgia. It's an honor to be with you and the city today. Just to give a little bit of background, as she indicated, I'm the state director for AARP here in New Mexico. And AARP across the nation has been working with the World Health Organization to get communities to adopt an age-friendly agenda in their work in their communities. And the Age-Friendly Network encourages states, counties, cities, towns, and rural areas to prepare for a rapidly growing aging population in the United States. It encourages communities to take action and pay attention to the environmental, the economic, and social features that encourage greater age and integration and diversity, and to create a community that supports residents throughout their lifetime. You know, they talk about from cradle to retirement and beyond. So it's being able to have a community that responds to the needs of the people of the community. So what's unique about this is, you think of AARP being only for 50-plus population. The fact is the work we do in age-friendly is for all populations. So what we do to improve transportation or housing or others for the 50-plus actually benefits young children and other age groups in the community. And the research we've done shows that people want to stay in their communities. They want to age and live where they've lived all their lives. They don't want to be moving on. They want to stay in their homes where they've established relationships, where their families are, where their churches are, the senior centers, where their doctors and their other services, their favorite coffee area. So it's important that we don't think of, well, as people age, let's move them out. Let's think about how we change the community so that individual can live here as long as possible. So that's what being age-friendly is all about. I want to thank you, Mayor Berry and Georgia, for the work that you've done in adopting the age-friendly concepts. Mayor, your leadership is important, and I think as you've seen in working with other cities and other communities, if your leadership isn't talking about this, hasn't adopted it, it's not going to change. It's just going to be talking words about doing these things. When you have leadership like you see the changes throughout the entire city of Albuquerque and all the policies in your leadership, everyone talking about moving these things, so that's important. And I also want to note Georgia and her staff, Anthony and others in the team, the Department of Senior Affairs, who've taken this on in their leadership role and making sure that the efforts to move the policy and move programs is there. So I want to thank you also for doing that. So you've heard enough from me. I think the most important thing is, and Jackie, if you'd get the certificate back there. Albuquerque became the 189th community to be designated an age-friendly community by AARP and the World Health Organization. So I'd like to ask Jackie to present to the mayor, right in there. To present the certificate to the mayor and to the city, and the city is now officially enrolled as an age-friendly city. And congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you so much. Have you hang on to this so we can come up?
Yes, I'm going to turn this over to you, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, Gene, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Wow, love to be at Varela's. How's everybody? How's lunch? Yes. I do love going into our senior centers, our community centers, because they're just happy places with people doing great things. Special thanks to all the staff at Senior Affairs, all the Varela's Senior Center staff, everybody making lunch today. Just give a big round of applause for all the folks. And to Georgia, thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you. I've so enjoyed working together. We've worked together now for 8 years. I've got, like 8 days left as mayor. And it has been 8 years of every day working towards making sure that Albuquerque is a great place to age in place, a great place for seniors, a healthy place, a place where you can enjoy your time. You've earned it. We respect our elders. We respect the folks in our community that have taught us so many lessons. And this is all about, it's nice to get an award, and thank you for the award. But it's really about what we're about as a community. And what we're about as a community is we're about us. And us means all of us, from the youngest to our senior folks, to make sure that Albuquerque just continues to be a wonderful place. This work that Georgia and her team have been doing for ABQ Together, where we bring all of our directors in, from the police to the fire chief to our Parks and Rec department to our Public Works department, which we call DMD, and others, making sure that every time we make a decision in Albuquerque, we are making it through the lens of being age friendly. And it has really been a culture shift in the city on how we look at these issues. And all of our directors have taken that on. And that's why I think we were just added to the list of 10 best big cities for active families from Outdoor Magazine. We were named the best city for veterans by Military Times, named the best city for staying healthy by AARP. Thank you so much. We've been written up in the national publications from AARP because they are leading the way. And so thank you to AARP for really advocating for the work that you do to make this intentional nationally, to push the agenda to make sure that it's happening, because if you're not the squeaky wheel sometimes, it doesn't get done. So for the leadership, Gary and everybody here, Gene, all the folks here, Jackie Cooper came down from Santa Fe today. Thank you, Jackie, for being here. Trish Comer from our North Campus Community Project is here today. Melinda Rand from the Nob Hill Neighborhood Association, of course, Anthony Romero sitting right back here. All the people that work together to make this happen, I really appreciate it. It's a big deal because there's approximately 350 centers across the United States that have been deemed to have this honor, and in January of 2013, North Valley Senior Center, Los Volcanes Senior Center, Palo Duro Senior Center, and the Manzano Mesa Multi-Generational Center received national accreditation from the National Council on Aging and the National Institute for Senior Centers. So I'm going to tell our new mayor, you got 2 more. I did 4, you got 2, let's get them. Let's go out there and get these done. But the National Council on Aging and the National Institute of Senior Centers is the body for 10,000 senior centers nationwide, and to be recognized by them is a great honor. I could go on and on, but there's a couple of people that I want to thank. Senior Corps and the volunteer programs, so blessed to have them. I was at the AmeriCorps headquarters in Washington not too long ago, talking to their leadership, the Senior Corps leadership, just thanking them for the work that they've done, not just in Albuquerque, but nationally. Mayors are so thankful for that. Hundreds of thousands of hours per year that our seniors are volunteering back to our communities. That's a really, really big deal. Everything from home repairs to meal programs to just driving people where they need to go. Last year, Senior Affairs provided over 15,000 hours of home services to more than almost 2,000 seniors in our community. They prepared more than 177,000 meals, just like our leaders and our great champions are having here today at Varela's. And then, of course, cities that are enrolled in the AARP New Mexico Age-Friendly Network commit to designing communities that are allowed for people to age in place. Whether someone's 101 years old or whether, like Gene said, you're a child, you need to have transportation. And we're getting ready, thank goodness, after a year of disruption on Central, opening ART. We're going to open it here in a couple of days. That's going to be an enormous age-friendly opportunity for people to get up and down the heart of our city. So, once again, well worth doing. So I'm standing between us and cookies and punch. So I'm going to just end by saying this. It's been a wonderful 8 years for Maria and Jacob and our family to be able to serve this great community, all these great leaders who make Varela Senior Center their home, all the 6,000 employees that get up every day to make our city a great place. We just want to say thank you for letting us serve. It has been a blessing every day. We will miss it tremendously. And as we move on to the next chapter in our lives, we look forward to staying connected to the community as non-elected officials and just being surrounded by passionate people that care about our place. So count us in moving forward. We appreciate the opportunity. So thank you so much.
Yeah.